Right now, in this exact moment, your mind is either your greatest weapon or your worst enemy. Most people never figure out which one it is, and that's exactly why they stay stuck. You see, everyone's searching for the secret formula to transform their life, waiting for that magical moment when everything clicks into place. But here's what nobody wants to hear. The person holding you back isn't your boss, your circumstances, or your past. When you look in the mirror, you're staring at your toughest opponent. Master that person, and you master everything. Your life isn't about finding yourself. It's about creating yourself, one choice at a time. Most people think self-mastery means becoming harder, more disciplined, more controlled, like some emotionless robot grinding through life. That's completely wrong. Real mastery happens when you understand the psychology behind why you do what you do, when you learn to work with your mind instead of fighting against it. Let me show you exactly how to do that. First, your thoughts are not commands. Your brain produces somewhere between 60,000 and 80,000 thoughts every single day. Think about that number for a second. And here's the devastating truth. Roughly 80% of those thoughts are either negative or repetitive. That means right now, your internal dialogue is probably running the same fearful loops it ran yesterday and the day before and the month before that, saying things like, "I'm not ready yet. People like me don't do things like that. I'll start when the timing is better." These are mental grooves worn so deep that your thoughts automatically fall into them, and every single time you believe these thoughts without questioning them, you make the groove deeper. Here's what changes everything. You are not your thoughts. You're the one observing them. You're the awareness behind all that noise. But somewhere along the way, you forgot that distinction. You started identifying with every worry, every fear, every negative prediction your mind generated. That's when you lost control. Think about the last time your alarm went off in the morning. You set it with good intentions the night before. You were committed, motivated, certain about waking up early. Then the alarm screams, and immediately your mind starts negotiating with things like, "You didn't sleep well, you need rest, one more day won't hurt, you're too tired to be productive anyway." Every single one of these thoughts sounds reasonable. They sound like you, but they're not. They're your brain trying to keep you comfortable, protecting you from the temporary discomfort of leaving a warm bed. The solution? Practice what I call the gap, that space between what you think and what you do. When that voice says, "I'm too tired," you acknowledge it. That's fear talking. That's my comfort zone protecting itself. Then you get up anyway. You don't fight the thought. You don't try to positive think your way out of it. You simply observe it, label it, and act independently. This is how you take back control. Every time you feel resistance and act anyway, you're training your nervous system. You're building proof that thoughts are just thoughts, not commands. Do this once and you've started. Do this 1,000 times and you become unrecognizable. It's that simple. Second, stop waiting for motivation. Act first. Let me ask you something. How many goals have died in the gap between your intention and your inspiration? How many times have you said, "I'll start when I feel motivated"? Here's the lie that keeps everyone stuck. Motivation is sold as the key to transformation. Get fired up, get inspired, then you'll take action. It's completely backwards. Motivation isn't the cause of action, it's the result of action. You don't feel like going to the gym and then go. You go to the gym and then you feel motivated to keep going. You don't wait until you feel confident to start the business. You start the business and confidence builds with each small win. Action creates momentum. Momentum creates motivation. Motivation sustains action, but it always starts with action. Cold, uncomfortable, uninspired action. The people who accomplish extraordinary things don't have some secret reservoir of motivation that you lack. They don't wake up every day feeling ready to conquer the world. Most days they feel exactly like you do. Tired, uncertain, not quite ready. The only difference, they do it anyway. Discipline is doing what you said you would do long after the mood you set it in has left. That's where self-mastery lives, not in the moments when you feel inspired and everything's easy, but in the moments when you feel nothing and you do it anyway.
When you treat your commitments like suggestions, you're teaching your brain that your word means nothing. You're reinforcing the pattern that says feelings dictate actions. Over time, this becomes your identity. Instead, build systems that work regardless of how you feel. Set your alarm and get up when it goes off. No negotiation. Open the laptop and start working even when your brain screams for distraction. Have that difficult conversation even though your stomach is in knots. These aren't glamorous choices. Nobody's going to celebrate them, but they're the only things that actually work. Start today with just one thing you've been waiting to feel motivated to do. Don't do it perfectly. Don't wait for inspiration. Just do it. Notice how the resistance fades once you start. Notice how momentum builds. That's the pattern, and that's always been the pattern. It's that simple. Third, embrace discomfort like it's your job. Here's a truth that will change everything. When your mind tells you you're done, that you can't go any further, you're only at about 40% of what you're actually capable of. Let that sink in. The voice telling you to stop, to quit, to play it safe, it's lying to you. Your brain is wired to conserve energy. It doesn't want you to do hard things because hard things require resources. So it will always present you with perfectly reasonable explanations for why now isn't the right time. But growth doesn't happen in your comfort zone. It happens in those moments of discomfort where you truly discover who you are. Do something hard on purpose every single day. Take a cold shower. Have a tough conversation you've been avoiding. Do a workout that challenges you. Each time you choose discomfort over avoidance, you build the resilience that separates extraordinary from average. You're proving to yourself that you can handle hard things. You're training your mind to stop seeing difficulty as a threat and start seeing it as a teacher. The pain you feel today becomes the strength you feel tomorrow, not because pain is inherently good, but because when you embrace struggle, when you push through it instead of running from it, you discover capabilities you didn't know you had. Self-discipline becomes your best ally and the bridge between your goals and your achievements. Face your fears head on. Don't shy away from failure. Run towards it. Learn from it. Grow from it. Every setback is just an opportunity disguised as disappointment. Every time you fall, you rise stronger, wiser, more determined. Commit to being better every day. Small steps lead to massive changes. Consistency beats intensity every single time. It's that simple. Fourth, understand your emotional patterns. Most people think self-mastery means eliminating emotional triggers, but that's just wrong. Mastery is developing intimacy with your triggers, understanding why they exist and what they're protecting. Here's something that will blow your mind. Your bad habits were originally survival strategies. That pattern you keep repeating, the one you hate about yourself, somewhere in your past, that behavior kept you safe. Safe from rejection, safe from chaos, safe from feeling too much. And even now, a part of you believes abandoning that pattern means abandoning your protection. Your reactions aren't who you are. They're echoes of moments you never finished processing. When something small triggers something ancient inside you, that intensity isn't about the present. It's the past asking to be seen. The perfectionist inside you is likely a child who once believed mistakes would cost them love. The overthinker in you might be someone who had to anticipate danger to stay safe. The solution? Practice emotional awareness. When you feel anger rising, don't erupt. Pause and get curious. Notice the emotion. Name it. I'm feeling angry right now, and it's okay to feel angry. This simple act of naming emotions helps you acknowledge how you're feeling and stops them from escalating. Then ask yourself, what part of me is this protecting? What does this remind me of? Self-mastery isn't the absence of triggers, it's the ability to respond instead of react. It's recognizing the emotional pattern unfolding and stepping outside it for just a moment. That single moment, that gap between trigger and response, is where your entire future lives. When you honor the need beneath your reaction instead of acting it out, you change the entire trajectory of your behavior. Start paying attention to the moments when you shrink in conversations, when you overcompensate, when you lose your authenticity to avoid disapproval. These micro-moments aren't random, they're traces of emotional memories. As you notice them, you create space for new choices. It's that simple. Fifth, Build simple, consistent systems. We overcomplicate self-improvement, then wonder why we fail. You don't need 20 different habits. You don't need to wake up at 4 a.m. What you need is a system you'll actually stick to, something so simple that you can do it even on your worst days. Start with a 30-minute morning routine before the world demands your attention. This isn't about waking up at dawn, it's about creating space to own your day instead of reacting to it. Don't check your phone, don't dive into emails, just give yourself 30 minutes of peace. Move your body with purpose. Whether it's lifting, running, or just a 10-minute stretch, physical motion teaches your brain that action beats hesitation. The hardest part is always starting, but once you begin, momentum takes over. Get your swirling thoughts onto paper. Choose 3 priorities, nothing more. When you stop trying to tackle 15 tasks daily and focus on just 3 meaningful ones, your productivity doubles while your stress halves.
Track your habits visually. What gets measured gets managed. Use a simple notebook to mark each day you show up. Every check mark becomes a microdose of motivation. On days you don't feel like doing the work, that empty box reminds you why you started. The visible progress becomes addictive. It turns discipline from a chore into a quiet competition with yourself. Feed your mind just 5 pages daily. Listen to podcasts that challenge you. Small deposits of knowledge compound dramatically over time. The highest performers aren't just physically fit, they're mentally sharp. End each with 3 questions. Where did I win today? Where did I fall short? What's one thing I'll do better tomorrow? This simple practice means you're always evolving, never stagnating. It is that simple. 6th, change your story. Here's the ultimate secret. You're not controlled by circumstances, by other people, or by your past. You're controlled by the story you tell yourself about all of it. Practice cognitive reappraisal, which means changing the meaning you assign to events. When you don't get that job you applied for, you can tell yourself, "I'm not skilled enough and I'll never find what I want." Or you can reframe it. "This wasn't the right fit. I've faced setbacks before and eventually made progress." Both stories describe the same event. Only one moves you forward. When you take a wrong turn and get lost, you can spiral into frustration about the terrible road construction. Or you can think, "I have time to listen to that podcast I saved. I'm learning patience." The event doesn't change, your interpretation does. And that interpretation determines everything from your emotions, your actions, your outcomes. Ask yourself, what if this obstacle is actually teaching me something I need to know? Fear is not a stop sign, it's information. Doubt is not a prophecy, it's just a question worth examining. Every challenge is either a setback that proves you can't do it, or a setup for the comeback story you'll tell later. You choose which story to live. It's that simple. So what's the truth about self-mastery? I'm not going to tell you this is easy. Your brain will resist, your emotions will protest, your comfort zone will fight back with everything it has. But that resistance is the entire point. That's where growth happens. That's where you build the mental toughness that makes you unstoppable. Master yourself, and you master your life. Every time you look in the mirror, remember who you are. A fighter, a survivor, someone capable of so much more than you think. You have untapped potential, locked away by doubt and fear. But fear is a liar. Doubt is a thief. They only have as much power as you give them. Small steps lead to big changes. Consistency beats intensity. Show up, do the work, and the results will come. There are no shortcuts, no magic pills, just hard work, dedication, and an unrelenting commitment to being better than you were yesterday. Your time is now. Your moment is here. Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting to feel ready. The life you want doesn't require a different you. It requires the you that's been hiding underneath all those protective patterns and limiting beliefs. That person, they're ready right now. Start today.
Not tomorrow, not when circumstances are better. Today. Do one thing you've been waiting to feel motivated to do. Notice your thoughts without obeying them. Choose discomfort over ease. Name your emotions instead of running from them. Build one simple system. Reframe one limiting story. Master yourself, and everything else falls into place. It is that simple.